Esraa?
Yes, I should go to the podium. Thank you, Michele. I think I cannot add more than you said, but maybe I want to be talking more about what happened on the ground in Egypt. Maybe also I will mention many bad things, but it doesn't mean that we lose our hope or the revolution coming back, but it means we're still in revolution phase and we still continue our efforts to build our new country. I think we are in the time of the Arab Spring, but it comes after many years of autumns and winter. We are in a very critical time in our Arab countries, especially in my Egypt. Our job is extremely difficult. It's much easier to destroy a regime than to build a new country. We are trying our best to build Egypt from scratch. And of course, this needs a lot of time and a lot of effort. In my speech, I am going to focus on 3 points: what we can see on the ground in Egypt, what will happen next, and what kind of focus we have to do. To make this brief, I can start from February 11th, but I will focus on the election phase. From the last 9 months, we can say with no doubt that the SCAF has no, or maybe lack of experience and ability to leading this critical transitional period. During these months, we are suffering from military court for civilians, restriction of freedom, drop in economy, instability, insecurity life, very poor government without any authorities. As you know, the civilian political power tried to form a new constitution first, but the SCAF insisted on making meaningless amendment of the constitution and called for election without allowing for good preparation or awareness. We also suffering from that we having many meetings and many negotiations about the super constitution principles and without any decision until now. We're making many drafts, many negotiations, and the last draft, I think it's published from the political power last Thursday, but until now there is no decision, and until now we don't know why. All this time to make just a document of principles to put a constitution. In the last session, we talk about the transitional period should be more shorter or more longer. I think when we choose to speed this transitional period, we cannot start by the difficult step. We start by the difficult step. We start by the parliament election, which need more time, which need more preparation, more efforts, more awareness. So we cannot expect that it will take short time. If we can start with the constitution, maybe it is ideal what happened in Tunisia now, but we start with the difficult one, and we need to short the time. I don't know how we can make it. Maybe I try yesterday to put the challenges we face in this election step. I started with 4 challenges, and today, before I come, it come to 9. I don't know after some time what will happen. The most important challenge is that there is no security on the street at all. There is no clear visions of how the polls and the people will be protected. What if there is no violence what if there is violence between different groups? Who will control it? The judge asked the SCAF many times to declare what is his plan to control the country. Youth activists have announced that they are ready to cooperate and help keep the polls safe, but have not received any response from the SCAF or government until now. The second one, the public is not aware of the new election system, which is, as Michele said, that it's more complicated. Civil society organizations are doing their best, but there is not enough time to reach more than 18 million people all over the country to explain what is this complicated system. allowing the members from the ex-NDP to be parliament candidate without any restriction. Liberal and leftist party don't have enough time to conduct outreach campaigning and organize themselves. On the other hand, groups like the Muslim Brotherhood are far more organized. There are no international election monitoring. SCAF consider it is as interference. Also, they have interfered in many countries' affairs, especially in Tunisia recently. They send people to interfere in their affairs and to monitor the election. No clear plan of how Egyptians abroad will vote until now. The decision says that Egyptians abroad will vote, but no one knows how they can vote. The election is after 10 days. The youth has a lack of campaigning experience. It is the first time for them to be parliament member candidate without any chance of training or to prepare themselves to be ready to this election. The last thing, the attack of the activists and the NGOs. Describe them as agents, had money from outside with illegal ways. Now they declare that they will let the security to discover or look at our personal accounts in banks. Also, they will not find anything, and they will not declare that there is nothing for this activist or for this NGO, but they put our names in the first page in our national newspaper to say that these people, we will discover their personal accounts. I think all these challenges will lead Egypt to two scenarios. One, maybe the election will occur. It will not be an ideal election. There may have limited violence, unrepresentative of political power inside the parliament, which is not be a bad step towards the next steps. This would place the new constitution and the presidential election, but without any clear schedule when it will be. The next scenario, I think, will happen the postponing or canceling of the election, which leaves the door open for a new and second revolution in Egypt. As all citizens, even those who support SCAF to ruling the country, understand its main role for SCAF is to transfer power to the civilian rule through election. But now there is no election. So we would then need to choose another transitional period to set the election and to transfer the country by election to civilian power. The last point I want to mention is what we need to do in these phases. The youth cannot all fill the same rules, and I think we need to work on 3 parallel levels, and we make this now in the street. The first thing, spread awareness, and we work with some civil society organization to spread awareness about the new election system, how they can vote, how they can choose, how they can evaluate the candidates and their programs. And another thing, we make it as we are waiting and waiting and waiting for months for the law which prevents the NDP members from running for this election, but no law. Every time we are negotiating, we are putting the law, we are about to declare it, but until the opening of the registration of the candidates, we find many people from the ex-NDP are now candidates for the next parliament. So we make our own campaign. The 6 April movement make his campaign to implement this law by the power of people, not by the power of the government or by our law. We make our campaigning to explain for the people and to say this is blacklist for the people who are from the old regime, and this is a white list from the people who are from revolutions. And I think by this way we continue our pressures, by this kind of campaigning, and also by continue our demonstration on Fridays on the street, and I think we are about to have one big demonstration tomorrow, 18th November. The last thing I want to mention, we should participate as a youth in decision-making position, and we try to do that. We have some candidates youth for the next parliament, and also we think about a new thing in Egypt to make us be close to the people who will be in the parliament, in the next parliament, because we know that this parliament will be very important for Egypt. This parliament, the parliament will make the constitution committee. So now we try to prepare ourselves and to train ourselves to work as staffers for the parliament members, to be close for them, to continue our pressures, and to say, in this position, we can have pressures, and we can say our position, and now we have official rule to say that is if we are agree or not agree about what happens in the parliament and about how it in the constitution committee. As I said in the beginning, we're still in revolution phase, and we will be in this phase until the SCAF left. Ruling the country. We will start our transitional period. Actually, when we have our first civilian president, we will start at this time our transitional period. But the time of the military who ruling the country, it is the time of revolution. It will be the time of revolution. We will success when we choose by the will of the people in the street the next president for Egypt. I will not lose my hope to see Egypt as I dream it can be. I believe in Egyptian people, and I trust their ability to build their own country and return Egypt back as the mother of the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Esraa.